Hey there, and welcome back to Stupid Game Experiments. I'm currently working on one of my stupidest experiments yet. I'm building the same game in 3 different game engines: Unity, Unreal, and Godot. The first thing I had to do was install the latest versions of all 3 engines. Sort of, except not really. I'll explain that in a minute. Let's start with Godot since it was the easiest. Basically, you just download the zip file, unzip it, and run the exe file. There's no installation, it's ridiculously fast, and the file size is only 64 megabytes, which as we'll see in a minute is completely insane. There are these other templates and plugins I may have to install later, but for right now, I'm done. It was incredibly easy, but the downside is that the tiny file size means a lot less features. This isn't a surprise, however, Unity and Unreal are literally hundreds of times bigger, which is way more than I would have expected. We'll just have to see how much this affects development later on. Installing Unreal Engine is also pretty straightforward. In this case, you have to install the Epic Game Launcher and install Unreal Engine from there. I may do a video about the launchers later, so I'm not going to go into much detail about them now. However, as I already mentioned, the file size is ridiculously huge. With the platform options I installed, the engine ended up being over 40 gigabytes, so literally orders of magnitude bigger than Godot, and over half of that are the platform export files. Finally, Unity was the most confusing installation. First, there's 3 different quote-unquote latest versions. There is the LTS version, which is what I decided I'm going to use for this game. LTS stands for long-term support, and if you're going to make a commercial game, this is what you want to use. Then there is the latest version, which is supposed to have all the latest features, but I think can also have code-breaking updates and won't be supported long-term. Finally, there is the alpha version, which has the latest features, but probably isn't stable and is really just there for testing purposes. I'm really not a fan of Unity's versioning system. Besides being kind of confusing, they put out a lot more versions rather than just updating each major release. While each version is about half the size of Unreal Engine, that's still a lot of space on your hard drive, or you have to keep removing versions and updating your projects. This is a problem with Unreal Engine as well, just not to the same extent. Once you choose a version, you also have to choose what modules you want to install based on what platforms you want to publish to. I had to go and check, but apparently Unreal Engine just automatically installs the same platforms each time you install the engine. Both ways have their advantages, so I'm not going to knock either one for doing it their own way. With all that being said, my only real takeaway from all of this is that if all you have is an old computer and you want to get started in game development, then Godot is definitely your choice. If you have more thoughts than that, let me know what they are in the comments below. I know this was kind of boring compared to a devlog video, but if I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison of all 3 engines, I might as well cover all the details I can. If you liked this video and want to see more of these side-by-side comparisons, make sure you hit that like button. I'll be back tomorrow with another devlog, so make sure you also hit that subscribe button. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow.